Welcome, dirty peasants, to Wartwood Gazette, the Amphibia podcast. This is episode 39, and we are covering Amphibia Season 1, Episode 19, Children of the Spore and Anne of the Year. I'm your host, Thumbaticon, and joining me today we have Ben.
Hey yo.
Pixels.
Hello, everybody.
And Lemur.
Hello, it's been a long while since I've been here. I'm glad to be back.
All right. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Hopefully Nick will be joining us shortly. So, news this week. We got more cryptic tweets from Matt. I'm just pulling up the screenshot here. I believe it was last week, or depending on when you're listening to this podcast, it was on January 15th, where someone just asked Matt when Amphibia was coming back, and then he just replied with soon. And then I'm not sure if any of you know the Twitter artist. Their name's Vinny. She replied, and then he started replying to her tweets where he said, I'm just reading the tweets. He mentioned that he doesn't have any control over the release schedule, but he hopes we look forward to it all the same. And then he also brought up, to elaborate, Season 3 has delivered strong ratings for the channel, and they need more episodes sooner than later. And then Vinny replied with, man, Disney, give us then Season 4 spin-off series or comics. And then Matt just replied, what about a book? Wink emoji.
Yeah. And then Adam Colas, one of the biggest plot writers of the show, replied with an eye emoji. So yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's so weird because Dana Terrace, she last week or on the Owl House's second anniversary, she also mentioned soon, and then yesterday, I forgot the name of I don't know how to pronounce it. Chris Hugan.
Chris Houghton.
One of the brothers of who created Big City Greens. He was just is it soon yet? And then, as of today, January 21st, we found out that Big City Greens got a fourth season, and it's coming back February 12th, which is
Yeah.
A Disney Plus movie, yeah! Heck yeah!
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Heck yeah! I love it. I love Big City Greens.
Soon is almost here, guys. Soon.
Oh, we're getting some good farm content again. Heck yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Big City. If you haven't watched Big City Greens,
Please watch it.
watch it. Yeah, I've only watched some of the. I've watched season 1 and then a bit of season 2, but I like taking my time with that show.
I've watched some episodes here and there. I don't know what season they were, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's a good show.
Yeah,
Watch Big
show.
City Greens. Watch Big City Greens better than Amphibia and Owl House.
Yeah, I'll say that if it gets more people watching. We love our farming families. We gotta
Yes.
support our
Go green.
farmers.
Yeah, support the
Agreed.
farmers, ladies and gentlemen. Support the farmers.
Other news this week. Amphibia and the Owl House have been nominated for the GLAAD Awards, the GLAAD Media Award for Outstanding Kids and Family Programming, which is good. It's for those of you who don't know, the GLAAD Awards is about it's about representation in
The LGBTQ.
the
community.
LGBTQ plus community.
Yes.
So Yeah, I think it was mostly centered around. In terms of Amphibia, it was mostly like the additions of RuPaul's character, Doctor X, and Ali and Jess.
Plus
Who,
some background characters.
Yes.
and then
Those two guys.
Yeah.
right, and then as well as like Owl House, they got you have Amity and Luce and Rain Whispers. It's nice. That
It's good to see representation.
I did think Aha should win though.
it should like as much as I
It makes
like
a lot- it
Amphibia,
makes-
like Owl House has made more strides
Yeah.
in the for representation. It should be rewarded for that.
Mhm.
So I think I covered all the news.
Mm,
Yeah, I got covered that all, and I guess we can go right into the episode. So first, we're gonna start off with Children of the Spore. So it was written by Matt Brawley and Jack Ferrero. Storyboards by Drew Applegate, Catherine Maruzik, and Kyler Spears, and directed by Derek Kirk Kim. So the episode starts off with Hop Hop is working on his model ship, the Green Lady, in his study, and then at that moment, like I'm trying to see what comes crashing into the room, but oh, so it was like just some kind of random ball, and the kids were just playing outside. But luckily his ship remains intact. And then like Hop Up just tells them to go play somewhere else or do something else. And then they decide to play tag in his room. And then of course they bump in well, Sprig's tongue bumps into the ship. It collapses, it breaks a little bit. Hop Hop's like has about the same the reaction you'd expect. Like he's just terrified. They quickly rush to Loggles to get some glue. So then, while the kids are playing with Bessie outside and just driving her around in circles, Hop Hop is complaining to this random stranger who overheard Hop Hop talking to Loggle. His name was Apothegary. He has a solution to get the kids to behave, and he pulls out this vial of some kind of substance, and then tells him Hop Hop to just rub some of this goo on their forehead, and it'll fix all of his problems. And then Hop Hop's a little bit. Hop Hop is like he's not sure about this kind of weird potion nonsense, but then by then Apothecary has left. Loggle gives Hop Hop the stuff he needs to fix the green lady. So they go home. The kids apologize, but then as they're walking in, they just like run past Hop Hop, and then like the ship, it doesn't break, but it just falls on the floor again, and Hop Hop is on the verge of tears, and then it just cuts to the night of the same day, and then Hop Hop has decided he's gonna try out the enzymes of that vial. He rubs a little bit on each of the kids' forehead, and then in the morning, they are all just not really themselves, and literally follow every single word. They follow all of Hop Hop's instructions like immediately, which eventually creeps out Hop Hop, and he just sends them outside, and clearly their minds aren't there. Eventually, Hop Hop spends the day uninterrupted, finishes the boat, or he almost finishes the boat, and then the potion wears off, and then the kids return back to normal, and they get a little bit rowdy. And then Hop Hop like has to like bribe them to get them to go to bed. And then Hop Hop decides he needs more time to finish the ship, so he's just gonna use the spores. I'm just gonna call them spores now from now on. He just decides to use the spores again, puts a little bit of extra on Anne, and then at night we just see like the spores have like grown through their heads and they're all walking around like zombies. Hop Hop's not sure what's going on, but then when he opens the door, the kids are trying to get out, and then he finds Apothecary standing at the door, and then that's when we find out that this potion was made from Apothecary's spores, and then that's when we get the reveal that Apothecary is actually a mushroom possessing a frog, and he plans on using his spores to possess all of Amphibia, and has already gotten to most of Wartwood's townsfolk. So while Apothecary was giving that speech and raises his army of Spore children, Hop Hop has immediately run off. Well, this was before like he gets in a little bit of a skirmish with the kids, and they let all the other infected townsfolk in. Then Hop Hop immediately grabs his ship and runs into the barn, but then Polly spots him and calls the rest of them after him. Apothecary is getting ready to assimilate Hop Hop into the children of the Spore. But then that's when he tosses his ship, destroys it to open Bessie's latch, and she immediately goes out and starts eating all the spores. Eventually, Hop Hop grabs Apothecary, they get in a fight, and then he lures Bessie into devouring the largest mushroom, and then Apothecary gives his last like plea to spare his life, but then Hop Hop isn't having any. Hop Hop decides to make Apothecary's species extinct and has Bessie devour Apothecary in this very gruesome shadow. We see like the gruesome shadow of the scene actually happening, but once Apothecary's taken out, the spores' effects have worn off and townsfolk return to normal, especially the original host of Apothecary, who's Floyd. Luckily, this guy just gets to finally go home. Hop Hop apologizes to the kids, but then also the kids apologize to Hop Hop for being a little bit too rowdy. And then Hop Hop declares they're even though Polly points out the moral and ethical lines that Hop Hop has crossed today. And the episode ends with the planners heading out back into the house, while poor Jeremy the bug has some of these spores, and the episode ends with a new mushroom or a new Apothecary growing on Jeremy's head.
No.
And that was the Children of the Spore. And this is like a lot of people point out that like Hop Hop goes way too far in this episode, and I have no problems with that because I love Hop Hop segments, and I love the horror vibe they were trying to go for. This was like a zombie parody. And I think it was done pretty well, especially with the use of spores and how they spread in real life, and I thought it was just a very clever episode with all the just with all like the how do I say this? I like how the kids at least acknowledge they go too far. But I'm still happy. It's just still like hilarious to see Hop Hop just brainwashes kids. I don't know. I could. The episode really makes you empathize with the Hop Hop, even though it's such a small issue. But he just goes to such extremes. I don't know. I love the comedy of. Usually Hop. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, he threw like he only spread Sprig and Polly with like the enzymes with his thumb, and yet she Hop Up threw 3 fists worth of like enzymes and space for no reason. Like, first, like, I don't get it, but it's funny.
I
Gotta
guess,
make sure it works.
but
Just to
I
make
think that was
sure it
I
works.
think that was
Yeah.
the second night that he
Yeah, it was the second night. Yeah,
throws it on Anne, so you knew it worked.
yeah, for no
Yeah.
reason. Yeah.
I guess
Oh yeah.
with I have more to say, but I'll probably hold back for now. But starting with Ben, what were your thoughts on the segment?
Um. Yeah, I like this episode. Um, I like how it kind of it makes you sympathize with Hot Pop, being like he just wants some quiet time to finish his little building set, and the kids are just like not giving him that, and like it can have you think like, oh, why doesn't he just have them stay outside and away from his side of the house, or if they are inside, why doesn't he just lock his door? Because he does have a key to his study, as in the second episode of the season, but he doesn't. And yeah, but it also shows you like this isn't really right, because the kids are just like, they just stand there, and probably if he didn't tell them to eat or do anything, they would just be motionless for the entire day. Um, I do like how in his study we can see Hop Pop has an acting degree, alluding to his history as a failed actor. And Apothecary was a cool villain of the week, I guess, because at the end it was kind of sympathetic, but then Hop Pop is Hop
Ruthless.
Pop's yeah, he's ruthless. He's just like, Apothecary's just like, please, sir, if she eats me, it'll wipe me off the face of the earth. And Hop Pop's just like, I can live with that, and just pushes Apothecary towards Bessie, and we get this like shadow of
Yeah, him getting devoured.
Gary's mushroom
Mhm.
form getting ripped off of the frog. And we don't really get much Anne, because this is a Hop Pop centered episode, but I do like how when Hop Pop bribes them all with 10 coppers each to go to bed, Sprig and Polly are just like, well, good night. And Anne is just like, I sure do like money. And yeah, that's it. It's good episode. Yeah, good episode. Raises some question, but also makes you doesn't really not really care that much.
All right, thank you, Ben. Yeah, it's like that's a very open-ended ending where it's probably just a gag, but you always hope that it'll come back one day.
Oh yeah, and Jeremy being controlled by the mushroom at the end. Poor Jeremy, the bug.
Yeah,
And
like,
like, yeah, like we don't know if there's going to be a future episode. Probably not, since season 3B is coming up. There's only so many episodes. But yeah.
Right. And Pixels, what were your thoughts on the segment?
I quite enjoyed this episode. I think you forgot to mention when the snake when the kids were like on doing donuts with Bessie, that a cop showed up.
Oh, right.
Just a random cop
They
showed
got a
up.
ticket, I think. Yeah, they
I
got a ticket.
believe. Did they?
Yeah, they
Yes,
did.
they did.
After
Yes,
they
they did.
apologized.
Ah, okay. I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, cool. There's law enforcement in Amphibia in Wartwood. That's pretty cool.
Well,
to
I
see.
mean, or
What are you gonna say?
I was before this. Did we meet the cowboy frog sheriff before this, or is that
This was after.
later?
Right.
I think was that in Grobhog or wait, no, that
No,
wasn't Girl,
Girl
Time.
Time.
That
Yeah,
wasn't
that's when we
Girl
met
Time.
the
Yeah,
sheriff.
Yeah, girl time.
Yeah, Sheriff.
But the officer we see in this episode, I think, is like the third kind of law enforcement we see, because we see the cowboy, and then we see like the British frogs in season 2,
We actually saw
and
the
then we see like this one.
yeah we saw the British frogs in I think it was
Friend or Frobo,
no Hop and Luck.
I think.
In Hop and Luck
Oh,
we saw like two like of those like British cops, but I don't think they were as the design wasn't finalized. It just showed us a similar design. And then I think this one is more the standard, the
yeah.
traditional like American, North American style cop.
Let me continue.
Oh, sorry,
I like
Pixels.
No, it's fine. Law
Yeah.
enforcement lore is okay with me. Um, I like the possession, like of the effects from the spores, and I also like the color they use. It's like this bright purple, right? They use purple for it,
Yeah,
and I find that a really good color to use. And like, and I love the Polly shriek almost when they caught Hop Hop in the shed.
yeah, it's so like
when
low pitched. Yeah,
I know, like it was great. What else? Bessie eating the mushrooms. So I was like, okay, so it doesn't affect Bessie then, but it affects the other frogs. I was like, okay, I like that. It's pretty cool. I like that. Gary was actually a Lloyd, because like the big mushroom, I think is Gary,
yeah,
and the frog that got possessed was Lloyd. I also like the commentary when it got out of the shed. Like one frog said, "Oh, this is my first time being woken up in a shed." Like what? Oh no, it was a really fun episode. I love this episode. Pretty fun. I also like the name, the title, a lot.
The corn, right? Is it the reference of it?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just supposed to be a Children of the Corn spoof
Yeah.
on the title.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Pixels. Lemur, what were your thoughts on the segment?
This could have been a very good Halloween special if they actually decided to air this show weekly back in season 1 days. But yeah, this is I don't really have a lot of thoughts about this episode, but like as aside from like this episode spawned way too much fan concepts than what the episode is really all about. Like it's a very character driven story, mostly focused on Hop Pop and like trying to control his kids by using drugs, which is again kind of weird when thinking about it in season 1, but like in season 3, like oh yeah, Hop Pop is definitely going to use. It's normal for us to think that Hop Pop would use drugs just to control his children. Like he definitely doesn't really cross. He's not afraid of crossing some paths if he gets what he wants. The only reason why he's not like a bad person because he's not like his moral compass is mostly solid for the most part. Um, yeah, for the most part, yeah, this is a very good Hop Pop story with some very very subtle but also effective horror elements. Like this episode is mostly a Children of the Corn spoof, and the fact that the main antagonist of this episode is based off a fungus that does control their host and then kill them or eat them is kind of it's kind of cool. Like it shows that wow, I guess nature is as terrifying as fiction. Yeah. Or the show actually does a lot of research when it comes to the portrayals of nature when it comes to trying to build the world of Amphibia. It's cool. Um, the kids, like I feel like at this point, like Hop Pop should have been used to the rambunctiousness of their kids, but I guess they were plot stuff. Uh, yeah, the kids are definitely a lot more rowdy than I feel like they should be at this point of the show. But at this, but I could live with that, I guess. But I could live with that. Um, I guess not really much else to say about this episode. Like I just think it's a very enjoyable episode. Uh, like the story is good. Hop. I feel like this is definitely like one of the more uh famous episodes that Hop Hop is for good and bad. Um, it's just an enjoyable episode all around. I like it. Not really much else to say. Still, some interesting plot points.
All right, thank you, Lemur. So yeah, like I guess starting off the episode, I like how we see the green lady, like the ship Hop-Off's making, actually makes a very brief return in the Marcy takeover, where we find out like that's not the ship. Like Marcy and Yunnan were on that ship. It was just a nice callback.
That takeover is so. Oh my god.
Uh, so yeah, the kids just like walk. Okay, so Hop Up told the kids to come inside because they broke the window, and then that was probably like a poor decision by Hop Hop because like what he expect? What did he expect? Well, he told them to do a quiet game, but they were never gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, why don't you lock your office if you don't
You
want
just
them
lock your office.
bothering you?
I mean, it's that
Unless-
they have locks. They have locks, right?
But I guess to be fair, the kids are that. I guess the kids are too noisy to the point that you can't really work on the ship, even if you lock the door, even if you wanted to.
He should have just told them to go like to play farther away from the house.
Or
Yeah,
that.
But like, yeah, true. But like, I don't think the kids would want to do that.
And then the
Well,
segment.
they're adventurous.
Yeah,
but
they
they're
would
really
have loved.
adventurous.
Yeah, they would have loved to go further away, but then the downside is that the segment would end immediately, where it's like he just tells
It's
the
gonna
kids.
It's gonna
Like,
be a
pop,
different
pop.
story.
Go ahead, Lemur.
No, I was
Sorry.
gonna say the episode will take a very different story if the kids decide to wander off the planter house.
It's like like a Hop Up tells. So it could lead to two scenarios. One, Hop Up tells the kids to leave, and then they just say okay, Hop Up, and then cuts the credits immediately.
Great credits.
Or they go off and then Hop Up like peacefully finishes the ship, and then like the kids don't come back by the end of the day, and then it's like another segment of like what the hell happened.
The entire segment is just Hop Pop fixing the ship. We don't see the kids in the episode until the end.
We get a full 10 minutes of Hot Pop
Quietly fixing the ship.
building his
Yeah.
like in detail.
Yeah.
What's that Toy Story like that Toy Story clip where it's like just shows the old man just like rebuilding
Toy Story
Woody?
2, yeah. Yeah,
Then Toy Story 2.
Yeah, Toy Story 2.
That was a beautiful scene.
It's just that.
Yeah, just that. It's like with lo-fi music playing in the background. Hell yeah. Would love that.
Mhm.
I'd watch that.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I think when when Hop Pop was doing the inside of the boat, I swear to God, he did a Pepe.
Yeah,
Is
it
it
kind of
Pepe?
Oh,
does look like Pepe the
yeah,
Frog.
Captain
What is
Cappy.
it?
I think happy. Yeah.
Captain Cappy.
I think that was later on the scene, later on the episode. Yeah,
That
Yeah.
oh,
was
sorry, Captain
like the
Happy.
second day or something.
Yeah, I found the screenshot for it. I'm just gonna.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I got it. Hold on.
Oh, I have it here right now.
Wait, I'm gonna post it first.
Damn it! Well, we
Yeah, it
have
does.
two
Yeah, it does
now.
look. Yeah, it does look like a Pepe. It does look like a Pepe. It's the colors and the lips.
Yeah, that really
And-
brings
And
it
the sadness in
together.
the eyes.
Yeah. I won't say sadness, but like
Just
I
look at his eyes. Come on, he sees some stuff.
I mean, yeah, he is the captain of the Green Lady, of course. Stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Like tyrannical kings and eldritch abominations. Wait,
Yeah.
no, that's season 2.
I like how we go to Loggles again. I'm trying to see if. Okay, I thought he was just asking Loggle for glue, but it was just general supplies to fix the ship.
Hmm. Oh, I thought he fixed the ship. That's
No, Loggle gave all of like the supply. Like he took the ship just to figure out what Hop Up would need, and then just brought back to him that crate.
yeah. Why not just leave the ship to Lago and have him finish the ship instead of doing it to your own?
But
Like,
where's the
it would have solved
satisfaction?
the episode quickly.
Sorry, like where's the satisfaction in like in the model build? You can't just give it away to someone.
I don't know. It just makes things easier. But you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, you wouldn't have the satisfaction of it if you just let someone build it for you.
And then uh like we be apothecary at the store.
Apothecary Gary.
Apothecary. Oh yeah,
Apothecary.
apothecary Gary, but just
Yeah.
apothecary.
Yeah. Yeah, for
um,
convenience's sake, we could just call him Apothecary.
right. So he shows the enzymes. The kids get the ticket, and there's not much to talk about here. They just
Yeah,
these
they apologize for, like, the kids apologized first, and then Polly said, "Yeah, we got you a ticket," and then apologize accepted it, not the apology, not the ticket, and like, and then they do it all over again. But back to when they got home.
yeah, we get that like weird that the like very elastic effect where like Hop-Up's jaw hits the floor and then that's like the last straw for him and just immediately sets out to brainwashing them the night of. And like the kids' eyes are super like I guess they're like anime like the anime eyes, but like normally they're supposed to be cute, but I guess they're so like lifeless.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say anime eyes, but more of like trance eyes,
Or like
like their
sorry,
pupils.
dilated pupils.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got like bigger pupils.
Hmm.
Or they like actually got eyes instead of just dots.
Right.
And then yeah, like we just get I love the Ben posted a screenshot of, like the front facing version of this. It's so
the
like
front facing
unsettling.
come on.
Oh
Look
my
at
gosh!
especially Polly. that smile.
That looks weird.
That's terrifying, to be honest.
Yeah, so like they listen to every single word he says. They do it like they don't even wait for Hop Pop to have like they don't even wait for the pause between like Hop Pop's line and the kid's lines. It's just they immediately respond. I like that. I like that detail. And just the base. They're just playing like baseball outside, and just I just like how lifeless it was.
Anne
Yeah.
doesn't even hit the ball, and they cheer.
Whoa.
And then like Hop Pop is
Yippee.
like Hop Pop's trying to
Yeah.
like hide, like he like you can see him like feeling guilty, but it just closes the blinds so he doesn't need to see it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna close this to get more shade. Whoops. What is smiling?
And I like how once it wears off, they feel like the possessed. They felt trapped in their body. The like the usual possession. I guess signs or symptoms that you're being possessed by another otherworldly um otherworldly creature. And then like Paul, I like how the detail, like I like how Polly's just like extra angry more angry than usual.
Is this episode a foreshadowing for Olivia and Newman?
No, but
How so?
just possession.
Such a
Yeah.
thing.
Damn, bro.
I apologize for bringing up that
I mean,
episode again.
when
Sorry.
when you think about it,
Fine.
you have the
Yeah.
Green Lady, and then Marcy was on the Green Lady, and then the possession, and then the possession with Marcy.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. It's all coming together.
Yeah, like Marcy's gonna say the exact same thing when she comes back from being possessed by the night.
It's like when people like analyze Avatar, and it's like, yo, man, see how like this color, like Sokka was holding this like blue boomerang, and then like he got a blue sword. Yo, man, it's all connected.
The whole scene is a hexadecimal color code that leads to Hop Pop's money safe.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Everything is connected, guys. Don't worry. We're not overreacting, guys.
Oh, if you look at the picture of that Lemur posted in chat, there's a triangle somewhere. That must mean Bill Cipher.
Oh. So it's gotta be Bill Cipher's reference.
Gravity Falls crossover. It's gonna happen. Season 2. Mark my words.
Let's do it. Yes.
You can see the picture
Yes,
where
but also no.
you can also see in the picture that I posted that Anne is smiling while looking on the Green Lady. That means Anne actually doesn't care about Marcy.
Oof.
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 But I like how, like, once we get to the second night of Hop Pop, like we already covered like Hop Pop just like throwing extra spores on Anne. But I like how I love the lighting of this episode, especially when Pixels brought up like the purple neon. It's like a neon
Yeah.
purple. It's really nice because it's not really a color you see. Like neon, you
For
don't see.
possession. For
Or
possession,
I-
I would like. No, I would think like a possession color would be like a green, maybe a blue.
I wasn't thinking about possession color. Just like those neon colors aren't really like common in Amphibia's like color palette. So when we do see it, like we do see it in this episode, it feels like out of place, but
Yeah.
in a good way, which makes sense because it's an invading force.
Plus the green moon, like shining too. I like it a lot.
Oh, the moon was green.
Yeah, the moon is green in this episode.
I didn't even notice that.
I'm trying to look for a
Yeah.
shot of it.
Hold on.
I know. Yeah, I know the the lighting is a lot more greenish. Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
that's
green moon.
nice.
So we got a red, blue, and green moon. Coincidence.
So we
Coincidence? I think not.
have.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah, it is. A
do you know who
coincidence.
else is green? Marcy.
Marcy. Everything connects to Marcy, guys.
She
We got a blue
controls the
moon, a green moon, red moon. It's all the colors.
And then True Colors comes along. It's like, oh, maybe it's too well connected.
Oh man,
Shit.
we nailed it on the coffin, guys. A little too much.
Yeah, but I do. Yeah, I do like. I do like the green color, the green moon on this episode.
Yeah,
I think-
all the lighting in this episode was nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
They used to green and purple in this episode. Yeah, purple and green very well.
Yeah.
Complement each other very well in this episode.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, so yeah, the
It
green
is-
purple
It
really.
is. Yeah, it is purple. Yeah.
Yeah, it's purple.
And then I like how Apothecary makes the my eyes are up here joke.
Lol.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Nick. Hey.
Nick, okay, we
Hey,
gotta
Oh
we
yeah,
gotta
Nick's here.
Nick,
Yeah, the
so
co-host is here.
we gotta ask you for your thoughts. Nick, what are your thoughts on this segment?
Oh man, like this is. Besides the time Hop Hop killed a man over like soup, man, like this or not soup sauce, like this is probably his most morally questionable episode. Like he mind controls his children, all because they disrespected him like what a couple of times. But honestly, I don't really have a problem with that. This episode's hilarious. Some like interesting can we call it like sci-fi horror, whatever? I don't know what to call it, but like. It's just a really good episode. Just a really good Hop Hop episode, you know? I mean, I'm not sure what, like, the big takeaway from this is besides the fact they need to save Jeremy from, like, the... What are they even called again? Like, just the spores?
Yeah, spores.
Wars.
Honestly, I'm just rambling here. But, like, you know, a really fun episode. Funny stuff. Another one of Amphibia's classic monsters or whatever. Honestly, yeah, I don't really know what to say about this episode because it's not like it's a big character development episode or has any like real lore in it. I mean, it's just a funny Halloween type episode.
Yeah, like normally when I go into these episodes, I'm like, yeah, there's a nice moral and the character feels a little bit like they've grown a little bit. And then there's Children of the Spore where just Hoppo's like, don't brainwash your kids, and I'm still like, I love this episode, like 10 out of 10. And like,
Don't brainwash your episode and don't bother your elderly people or something, or else they're going to do anything to make you obey them, like brainwashing. Yeah, that's the moral of the story.
it's just that like
Episode's just crazy. Like I don't know where Hop Hop's morals stand. Like because like that just that end scene where like he's like, yeah, sorry we're brainwashing you guys. Like what was it? I don't remember how. I just remember Paulie pointed out the fact that like what they did to each other were completely two different things. Like they destroyed his toy ship, and then he fucking like breaks. Well, what was it called? Like multiple like moral and ethical boundaries.
Yeah.
Just to get them to obey it. Like that was fucked up. Like absolutely one of the most fucked up things Hop Hop ever did.
Hey, they're equal now, so it's fine.
Yeah, Hop Hop was like, yeah, so we're equal. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's
I
like,
mean,
yeah, equal.
yeah, they're equal. They're equal, John.
Oh yeah, they are.
and then even the
I
kids
was-
Man's insane. Hop Hop's just insane for all that.
Would you say he's worse than other characters of the show, though?
Well, none of them ever infected anyone else with like.
a parasite or
Well, actually, he's the first. No, he's the first character to mind control someone. So hats off to Hop Hop for that. Like, gotta
Yeah.
Like first character, the mind control, and another main character.
You could say that this episode is a foreshadowing to True Colors and all the possession stuff. So yeah, good job, Hop Pop. Good job.
Listen, he also spawned off all the like I don't know. Like the fans got let's say like the fans really liked this episode. He also spawned off all the cool Spore art, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say cool. I wouldn't say the foreign art is cool, but sure.
Yeah, not so much cool.
Some of them were nice though. Some of them were nice.
Yeah,
I can appreciate like the horror-esque vibe of a lot of them. But yeah, I mean a lot of them were okay. But yeah. I don't know. Good episode. I just don't feel like there's like one single takeaway here besides the fact that it may or may not like show up again in future episodes. I mean, like clearly they're still around, but I have no clue whether or not they're really going to be significant in 3D. They might be good for like one teeny tiny little gag where they're quickly like just
Blinking
done.
on
Like I don't know, like maybe. Like maybe like I'm just trying to get like maybe I don't know like Jeremy infected by the spores charges that Sasha, then she just like squashes him for fucking food or something, and then it's over. Like that's where I'm going with this.
I wish.
Sorry.
I just wish it didn't happen to Jeremy because like he's basically like a side character that we saw like starting in Sprig versus Hop Pop. It could have just been like a random. It had to be It had to be Jeremy. If it was just like the brownish yellow bug, then we could have slept well knowing Jeremy was okay. But
you haven't seen Jeremy since.
I won't be able to enjoy season 3B if I don't know if Jeremy's safe, man. Like, can't have that.
Where's Jeremy?
Somebody should
help the plant. Oh, go ahead.
Somebody should tweet Matt Brayley asking if the blue beetle in this episode is Jeremy from Sprig versus Hop Pop.
Yeah, bro. I just feel bad for him because it's like he's done nothing but help the planters, right? Like Sprig versus Hop Pop, he literally taught Hop Pop how to be a better parent. Then like Hot Popular, he helped win the contest, and now what does he get here? He gets possessed. We don't see him for the next 2 seasons. Poor guy.
They could just bring up the fact that they could just make a joke about Hop Pop also trying to possess like a 13-year-old girl once they encounter, the night and stuff. Like Hop Pop to say, "I will never do something like this," and then Polly just said, "Hop Pop, you did some mind control over Anne. You mind controlled Anne with spores after you just because you work on your toy ship. Like how are you not better?"
It's funny. Even before I knew like who wrote this episode, a lot of my favorite segments from season 1 ended up being like written by like Matt Brawley and Jack Ferrello.
Yeah.
And then like I'm looking through the list, and it's like there's so many like when Matt and Jack write an episode, it's like you have Anner Beast, Best Franz, Hop Luck taking charge. It's like, and I always like take away something from each of those segments. Like even Hop Hop and Luck and Fiddle Me This. Oh, a lot of these are Hop Hop episodes, but but
Yeah.
and then it's like Children of the Spore. It's like
it's a fun episode.
It's probably like the weakest episode written by them, but like it's still like a really memorable episode.
I mean, I wouldn't say like it's weakest in terms of like
actual quality by default, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if you mean by like if there's anything you could take away from an episode, yeah, I could say this is the weakest. But like in terms of actual fun, enjoyability, quality, no, not really.
Yeah, like even like all these episodes, like definitely are super are high quality.
Yeah,
especially outside the writing, like the lighting as well is really nicely done, and then just the like we know lighting and animation is pretty expensive. So it was it was interesting to see like how much more like lighting effects this had compared to other segments.
Why this episode? Oh, but I guess although it makes sense. This is like a pseudo Halloween special. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you gotta. Yeah, it's better. It's better to use like all the like lighting is very important in like the Halloween segments for like to set up the mood.
Yeah, you gotta upgrade that stuff.
Yeah, it definitely helped this episode. I really did enjoy just like pausing in, just like just really trying to appreciate the shots they're putting out.
This episode is so basic, but it's so good too.
Yeah. It was really well done.
I like how we now at this point in season 1 we had 2 Halloween segments.
Yeah, 2 Halloween segments and 1 Christmas segment.
Yeah, and technically last week we had like a Thanksgiving episode, but that was just an. Yeah, you could call it. Well, maybe the first 2 minutes was a Thanksgiving episode before it became Space Jam.
The big bug bowl game. Okay. I never made that connection, but yeah, I can kind of see that.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about for this segment?
I mean, I just wanted to mention, I did like it's like a small little thing, but I did like whenever Hop Hop like they mentioned like the kids, like quote unquote the kids, she's also referring to Anne. So I mean, I know we're about to close out season 1, so it's like obviously how this fun. It's just part of the family, but I just thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah, true.
I think Hop Hop always referred to like Anne as the kids, but yeah, it's a nice. I think it's more like it's more obvious and sentimental in the next segment, but yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
very, very.
Yeah,
next segment.
I was gonna mention that, but yeah. Yeah, not really much from this episode in terms of like lore and stuff or any like character development moments. It's just it's as basic an episode as you can get.
Okay, and since I'm not sure if anyone else was going to talk about this, but felt maybe it might not be appropriate. But since we need something to prevent YouTube from marking this up as for kids, Apothecary's reveal, the shape looks very phallic in nature.
What the fuck?
It's a
The
mushroom. What are
strongest
you
shape.
talking about?
It's
Okay.
the strongest shape.
Which I find so
Okay.
funny.
Because I didn't think about this until I watched this segment with my sister, and she hasn't watched too many like Amphibia episodes. So like when you have the reveal of like this veiny, like long shape, like she immediately like looked at me and told me like, what? How did they get this on air? And I was like, I didn't think about it until now.
Why? Why didn't you mention that? I didn't even thought about it until now.
Didn't he
too.
also like reveal like do kind of like a Flash type move with his robe, or did he just pull back a hood?
Like he slowly pulled back the hood up, like
Yeah.
from
Because he
the
wore something else beforehand.
I think you guys are taking way too hard about this.
like they make this like the reveal like such a big deal.
Yeah, I think it is meant to be like it's a mushroom.
Right, but then like it's the mushroom is like gathering moisture on top.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my goodness!
What's going? Like, you can't even focus on the horror aspect. Yeah, it's how it's like a dick. Like,
And then okay,
like the roots. You could imagine how the roots are probably like embedded into their skulls. Like how deep do those roots go into their head? Like we can imagine that.
When it was getting ripped out of the frog's head, those roots were pretty big, so they must go down pretty far.
Yeah, it was like a very large mushroom. Plus, like when he yanked it out, you could see like I don't know if I should call it like was it like juice, like something liquidy, like droplets of liquid were like flying out of his head after it was ripped out. So like I don't know if that's brain juice, but like it was something.
Well, at least Lloyd it showed Lloyd later being okay. Like, but yeah, it was just super gruesome. Yeah,
but he
like
doesn't know where he lives. Like how about abandon him? He was like, "Hey man, do you know where I live?" He was like, "No." Like, I don't even know. He just said, "I don't even know. I don't remember what album said it, but like he basically just left that man to like where is he? Like where is he gonna go? He doesn't. Like, he only knows his name. He doesn't know where he lives. He doesn't know how he got here. Like,
this is definitely gonna be
from the other side of Amphibia or something.
Yeah, this segment is definitely going to be the stream highlight of this episode. Score. This is gonna get clipped now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about phallic imagery in Amphibia.
I felt like I felt like someone else was thinking it, so I just wanted to talk. I just want since I'm the host, I feel like I could take the fall.
Stop! No.
My brain was clear. I was just focusing on like the sheer horror of it. Like
it is still horror. It is still horror.
It's just the horror.
You kind of ruined that scene for me, though. Thanks.
We're just focused on the horror
sexy
aspect.
horror.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah, you were like the only one thinking it, though. You were the only one thinking it. We were all like.
Now I can't stop thinking about that scene as Bessie sucking the chip.
I'm reading out what you just typed. Bessie sucks the top of the mushroom.
Don't read it out loud. Don't read it out loud.
I'm reading it out loud. Like, what the fuck?
What is wrong with you? No,
Am I wrong though?
This is not for kids
Not
YouTube.
really.
This is not for kids YouTube. Good job.
God damn.
In the next YouTube
I don't
apocalypse,
think he's getting any.
it's gonna be fine.
Oh man,
It's gonna survive. It's gonna survive the disabled comment section.
Heck yeah. More ad revenue, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he infected them with like magical mushrooms. Like that's just like hop. God damn. And like imagine if this is like Anne's parents found out. Like I feel like this is a conversation they're probably never gonna have with them. But like Jesus, imagine if they found out like how far Hop Pop's willing to go to get them to listen.
Sprig mentions the fact that Hop Pop might control Anne.
And then like Mrs. Boonchoy whispers to Hop Pop, be like, "You got any more?"
I was originally thinking that Mrs. Boonchoy is going to cook some like frog tonight, but yeah, that works too.
So I guess we can go on to end of the year.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Not much. Yeah.
So end of the year was written by Geneva Mai, storyboards by Drew Applegate, Jen Strickland, and Silver Paul, and directed by Bert Ewan. Oh, I think just a minor detail. I think this was Silver Paul's first time on the. This is the first segment he started working on. Because I didn't see his name until now, like reading all these segments. It just so good for him.
Yeah.
So the segment starts off with everyone's like all the townsfolk are gathering at the center. Anne doesn't know what's going on, but then Hop Up explains that they're going to reveal the winner they're going to reveal the Frog of the Year, which every year the townsfolk vote on one person, like one frog that embodies the best of Wartwood. And then Anne last week when the planners went out to vote, she was completely oblivious to them explaining this. Toadstool comes out. He reveals that Anne was voted Frog of the Year. And Toadstool's not happy about this. He doesn't think Anne is cut out for this responsibility because Frog of the Year has to plan the party. So Anne wants to prove him wrong, and then she begins planning. She begins planning her party. Polly's in charge of who gets in and who doesn't. Hop Op is master of ceremonies, and then Anne tasks Sprig with asking Ivy out, just for like the spectacle, and that's like the spectacle of the party apparently. We cut to the town square. Everyone's setting up. Anne is starting to get a little bit nervous that like some stuff isn't going to plan. Like Hop Op's jokes aren't landing. Sprig's getting nervous about asking Ivy out. Toadstool doesn't think she's cut out for this, which makes her kind of exert a little bit more control over the over like party planning. Eventually cuts to the night of the party. It looks pretty good. Eventually things start spiraling out of control, where we had that like live mud skipper fish going around. Hop Op's jokes aren't landing. Sprig again is not. Sprig immediately like gets too nervous to ask Ivy out. Like everything keeps spiraling out of control. Eventually, the the baton twirlers start a fire, and everything's on fire. So then Anne grabs Toadstool, and then they have to help gather up and save the townsfolk. And then they put the fire out with the chocolate fountain. And Anne's kind of disappointed that she believes she ruined the party, and she didn't deserve to be Frog of the Year. But Hop Op corrects her in that the reason they voted her Frog of the Year is because of how much she improved, rather than how flawless she was or not. And yeah, they voted for Anne because of how far she's come in Wartwood. And then they salvage the party. Everyone's having a good time now. Ivy asks Sprig, instead of Sprig asking Ivy out, the reverse happens. Ivy asks Sprig out. They run off into the background. They run off. And then eventually Toadie tells Anne that she has a visitor. And the episode ends with Anne reuniting with Sasha, and the reveal that Sasha has brought Grime and the Toad Army right at Wartwood's gate. And that is end of the year. So I know the ending. We'll try and keep. We'll save all the ending scene discussion for maybe after we cover like the majority of the segment. A lot of let's try our best not to go too far into reunion. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that leads
Try.
itself very nicely into the finale, or the season 1 finale.
Because this is kind of like, because end of the year is kind of like part 1 of reunion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a part 1 or part 0.5.
Exactly, a part 0.5, or like an epilogue,
Right,
like episode 0 of reunion,
a prologue.
a prologue. Right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and avoid getting too much into this segment, but I just liked how it does feel like a nice endpoint for Anne's time in Wartwood, and this episode focuses more on Anne's relationship with the town rather than the planners, because I think that was saved for the finale, and I think that was a good choice. And it freed up a lot more time to let Reunion do its thing. And yeah, I liked everything involving Toadstool as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think those are my thoughts on End of the Year for now. Ben, what were your thoughts on this segment?
Um. Hmm. I. It started out normal. I like that. Um. I. I don't really know.
I can come back to you if you
the
want.
the build up to the time before the party was kind of a bit
Quick.
lackluster. I don't know, quick, because it was kind of just like Anne gets voted, Mayor Toadstool bullies her for a minute, then Anne is like, oh yeah, screw you, buddy, I'm gonna make the best party ever, and then it cuts to Anne and the planners planning the party. Um, I did like how when they're preparing the party, Sprig is like practicing, and then in his practice, he like ends up destroying the ivy dummy he's practicing on. Um, Polly using the rope as nunchucks and like using that power to at the party. She like she she basically bullies Wally for a second, and then it's just like, nah, get in there, buddy, you're good.
Yeah, I like how the
And
show moved past.
Wally was like really hurt there for a second. He like just fell to the
Yeah, like
he just fell to the ground and just laid there. And then he's just like, yes, validation.
Yeah,
Um,
the Wally bullying ended. The show has
Wally
evolved
bullying
past
is
that
like
point.
illegal.
yeah, no bullying Wally in the Amphibia fandom.
Like it actually broke his heart. Like he just like he just fell to the ground, unable to move, seeking out validation until Paula gave it to him.
um, I like how somehow Anne was able to get like a tailored suit for the party. Either that or for some reason she had that in her backpack. Like, I don't know why she would have, but I know we've always talked about like Anne's backpack bag of holding or something. Um Somehow Stumpy gets a mud skipper in a couple hours and like doesn't bother to kill it, just like leaves it there.
It had to be fresh.
Yeah.
Did he like? So when Anne told him to get like sashimi, like did he just like name the fish sashimi, like as in like a nickname or
Yeah,
something? When it was a
he
mud
named
skipper?
No,
yeah,
he also asked.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. He asked like what's sashimi, and then like Anne said it was like fresh fish, and then he got like a.
And then Mayor
Just like a
Toadstool is
random.
like, Mayor Toadstool is like, okay, Stumpy, what's on the menu? And he's like, this is sashimi. He's a mud skipper.
Yeah, straight up, just like name the sashimi. That's pretty funny.
Oh, I like Loggle being like, I guess the party's lit now, Anne, when everything's on fire. So it had some good jokes. And the ending was very good because it was the first time we saw Anne with Sasha. And that's it.
All right, thank you, Ben. Pixels, what were your thoughts?
It was a really good episode. From Anne doing her best to like the pacing of this episode was really good. And it was trying to both help herself with trying to make it the best party ever, but also helping the planners with what they need to do. Like Sprig trying to axe out Ivy, and Hop Hop trying to crack some jokes, and Polly being Polly. I did love that when she used the velvet rope as nunchucks. That was hilarious to me.
Yeah, I love she just like wrecked that guy.
Yeah, she does not care. I love her for that. Then we see then coming up, and it is very what Ben said, a very tailored suit tuxedo with combed back hair, which is like okay, she's going all.
And shoes, like two set
Oh yeah,
shoes.
And no
one set of
leaves.
2 sets of shoes. It was especially and then the catastrophe happened with the fish going rapid, and what Mayor Toadstool said in the beginning. Can't wait for this fire to go up in flames, and guess what? It did. And then it was up. And then I liked how Mayor Toadstool like, hey, said, you know what? I'm helping you, and that's what they did. I love the speech at the end, like with the civilians just talking to her on why they chose her specifically to be Frog of the Year because of how matured she's been, and we've been saying that when we were talking about season 1 that like each episode, the more mature she gets, and that's where it happens, and that is all I'm gonna say.
All right, thank you, Pixels.
Mhm.
Nick, what were your thoughts on this segment?
It's a really great episode. You know what I mean? It's just really nice to not only see how far Anne has come since episode 1, but also just have like the supporting cast like admit that and tell her just how much they appreciate how much she's grown, and just it's a really sweet episode. I agree a lot of Pixel's points. What's also nice here is that dang, I don't want to cover too much and like leave too little for us to discuss, but like it's just a great episode to bring together the whole season, and just I mean, now that I think about it, this episode really did kick off a lot of things. Spivey, Toadstool's redemption, like the first reunion of Anne and Sasha. Like, this episode had a lot packed into it, and it was all paced pretty nicely. So just really nice to see the town like this together for Anne. That's all around a great episode.
All right, thank you, Nick. And like I do get what Ben mentioned earlier, how this episode really goes through the. Usually Amphibia standard thing is like they have the plot, it goes to the next setting, and then maybe I'm just describing all animation in a nutshell, but it's like a scene happens, it goes to another scene, and then things happen.
Then another scene happens.
And it keeps going until the credits. But I guess like Anne's like when Anne starts getting a little bit controlling, like it does happen pretty early on in the segment, like even before the halfway point. But I guess it did need to it didn't waste any time. It definitely like covered all the I guess the story beats that it needed to, where like Anne's Frog of the Year, this is the plan she wants, this is how it turns out, and then the fallout from all that. I really liked the I'm glad the town this wasn't like we know the town like appreciates Anne and understands like how far Anne's come, and I like how that was brought up at the very beginning of the segment instead of like they didn't save that moment that Anne has, like that moment of appreciation Anne has for the very end of the segment. They have it at the very beginning.
Pixels posted the dabbing ant statue in the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that
Yeah.
up later. Yeah, like yeah, like I like how Anne's appreciation for the town, like it's at the very beginning, and then that's what sets up her like that and Toadstool's doubt kind of encourages Anne in the wrong way. But yeah, this was the death of dabbing Anne. Like this was the last time we see her dabbing as a statue, and it goes up in flames.
Yeah, hey, what a way to go out, though. What a way to go out.
they really they killed the meme in the best possible way. It went out in a
Also,
blaze of
well,
glory.
yeah. Because I just read-
Watching like the finale and dabs on Andreas as like she does the finishing low or something.
And like what Pixel posted in the chat, like the expressions in this episode are hilarious, especially with Sprig.
Well, yeah. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
top-notch, too.
Sprig.
Like, he was all hyped for his role, then he's like, oh, you're gonna confess to IB? Then he's like, he's like, instantly revolts at the idea. Yeah, it was great. But yeah, actually, wow. I mean, I didn't realize, but yeah, I guess spurred on by the. I mean, I didn't realize, but yeah, but and spurred on by the. Like, just talking about that right here just reminded me about. Well, not reminded, but made me aware of the fact that, like, here with Anne, she really did fall back on some old habits, right? Just to prove that she actually did change. I mean, like, trying to push Sprig into, like, satisfying her. Like, trying to push Sprig into, like, satisfying her team romance junk and, like,
She pushes
being
Hop Hop.
controlling, being dismissive, and stuff like that. Like that. She definitely fell back on some old season 1 behaviors with that.
Yeah, first I think like in the first part of this episode, she tries to be a little bit more lenient with them. Like she tells Sprig to like keep trying, and then like with Hop Hop, she just tells him to like keep like working on it. And then like once like
Yeah.
things start like going wrong, then she gets a little bit more controlling about it. I just like how like we saw a few times in the season like Anne was like trying really hard for the town to the town to like her. I like how it came naturally, and she was kind of taken back by it.
Yeah, she's always actually. Yeah, you're really right about that because like, she's always surprised when the town like basically tells her that she's a good person and that she's done great. She's always like, what? Then she just starts smiling because it's like, wow, you know what I mean? Like she never really realized it. Yeah.
I love
So,
how
I mean, it's always sweet just to see them. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, finish your point.
It's just always it's always sweet to see how the town like congratulates her for a job well done. Like those are some of my favorite scenes in season 1, hands down. Like it really does feel earned when Toadstool himself even admits that she's like pretty great right now. Yeah.
And also when Hop Hop like is so proud, he's like finally like a planter, and then like we get that little joke at the end with like this like the sticky sweat, the sticky tear, but it was still like a nice scene, nice moment.
That was funny.
Really sweet.
Because like he considered Anne a planter, so it was nice to see him like refer to Anne as such.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we covered. Oh, just a minor detail. Like Sprig's holding the magazine, and it has like the cat and the bat we saw in the dating season. Like remember she showed like Sprig like true love, and it just showed like cat and a bat in love or something. I think this is like a different like picture. Maybe it's like a different magazine.
Mm.
Wait, oh shoot, yo, it was nice to finally see Spivey like canonized. I mean, like actually canonized, sorry, because that was cute. I remember like I don't remember. I just when I first saw it, I thought it was pretty nice that it was taken care of that quickly. There wasn't really much like will they, won't they, with Amphibia. So that was pretty cool. Just like a straightforward romance between these two. I don't even know what to call it romance. Like it's probably just cute moments between Sprig and Ivy.
Yeah, it's like because they had the joke with Sprig getting engaged with Maddie, and then they ended it, but they still were on good terms, and then then Sprivy happened, which is nice.
Yeah.
We talked about Polly with the nunchucks, or not nunchucks, the what is
Rope.
that thing? Yeah, with the rope. Yeah, I hope Anne gets a statue by the end of the series. It'd be nice to have that Wartwood.
like honoring.
Oh dang, that's gonna be really emotional. That's gonna make me cry. Like if I just see like one last shot of Wartwood and it's like a statue of Anne, it's like Hop Hop, Sprig, and Polly just like taking one look at like. Now I'm just imagining it's just that scenario or something. Like that's the last shot of them we ever get from the show. Like them looking up to the statue and just remembering Anne. Like that makes me miserable. Yeah.
Even Loggle's statue, like his original one, wasn't too bad. But I know like it's if we get something like that, it's gonna be probably a lot more on model. Man, that would hurt. Oh, it's like covered. It has her armor on, and then maybe the sword, and then like maybe some eventually over. Maybe what if it's like a cut to like 100 years? No, I'm thinking too.
No. Oh, holy crap! Whoa. Dang.
It's covered with like moss and vine. Like no, not. Gotta resist.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I really like the knights. Like what do I call it? Just like the decorations at night. And I like how like that frog DJ. He literally says out loud he's a frog DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a frog DJ.
I'm a frog DJ. So he's blasting the music. I just love like it comes back to when he's just like covering his ears. It's just like I love how quickly the whole party falls apart. I'm a frog DJ. Like that was the only thing he knew to do. Yeah, it was great.
I like Hop Pop's like failed improv. I like how they try to recreate like how like a lot of comedy like a lot of stand up they're like performing in front of like a brick wall. I like how they just had like a curtain to recreate that.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I didn't notice. Yeah.
Oh, and then Sprig turning white and immediately like running off.
Not white.
Pale.
Stone.
Oh, stone, yeah.
Or stone.
Yeah, and then we got the death of Dabbing Ann.
Of course.
Jeez.
How can we not forget that?
Probably the saddest death on the show.
Like I said, I didn't mind it.
Yeah, so she takes down the mud skipper. She tames the mud skipper, and then she grabbed Toadstool. And then it's just a weird thing where she asks like Toadstool, like, "Have you ever used a chocolate fountain before?" And then like Toadstool like basically answers like, "Of course he did."
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. Say like just looking back, I really do like how they handled Toadstool's like arc. You know what I mean? Just his redemption arc in general. Like it's like a 2-season thing, but it's just really well executed. I'd say because it's like. No, because I feel like at the beginning of season one, obviously, like he was against the planters and he was trying to scheme the town, anytime he could. But then when all those schemes failed, he sort of became like this neutral part of the town where he wasn't exactly helping them, but he wasn't exactly against them at that point because we didn't really see any more schemes from him in the second half of the series, right? Like, and there weren't really any episodes where Toast was like sort of the antagonist. But then we cut back to then like he does a bunch of helpful things for the town, and he actually finds that he likes it, and then boom, we cut to season 2, and like he's still growing, so it's pretty nice,
Yeah, I think it started here, where like I think at this segment onwards he was more neutral, and then even like we didn't see much of Wartwood in season 2, in the first half at least. But then like when we return to see him, like he's still scheming, but it's not against the town. It's more like he's scheming to help the town with like at least with New Wartwood. But then he stops being antagonistic with the planners at least.
Yeah.
we get like honestly, then we get like one of the best Wartwood episodes, Toad's Redemption. Like I just love that. It was pretty nice. Yeah, so I didn't realize that like end of the year, it really does close off. I mean, I know season 1 didn't have a ton of plot points, but like it does close off like a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like we got Spivey confirmed. It really like Anne really does feel like a bit like she's really coming to her own in this town. The town loves her. I'm like, she's clearly a planter. Like that's a fact, hands down. Toastal. I mean, he stopped being like he's not really like a pain in her ass anymore by the end of this episode, so that's good. Like pretty much. Oh, except for the box and the Sasha and Marcy. Like besides that, practically a ton of things that he said in season 1 were over.
Right, and I like how like a lot like we had episodes where Anne is like interacting in town events, but like this time she actually gets to like to plan it out. Like like every week we have some kind of like random Wartwood festival tradition thing. At least this time, like Anne is actually the one in charge.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot to mention, but I really like that one scene where like they showed why Anne didn't know about like Frog of the Year, and like it was just she's like listening to this some random show, one random song. She's like, "No, you will not." No, what was it? I always forget the lines. Like
I know TJ Hill.
I think it's "No, you won't make me."
Yeah, it was something like
what she was like singing.
It was like da da da. Da, da, da.
No, I think
you will
TJ Hill
never make me go or something like.
I
think he dropped like the full song, right?
Yeah, like at least this part of the clip. Yeah, he has this on his SoundCloud. That's why it sounded so familiar.
Da, da, da. No, you won't let me go.
Oh, Lemur, since you're back, what are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on this segment?
Oh, I feel like you guys have already discussed everything I was gonna say, but I guess let's try. Yeah, like on the surface, I think this episode is all right. Like as a standalone episode, it's good. Like funny shenanigans and all that stuff. With monster of the week and does something stupid, she tries to fix it, everything's fine. But like, what this episode does different is, to me personally, is that when you view this episode on the context of everything that happened prior, like not just like a few episodes, but like the entirety of the season. End of the year is like the culmination of the character arc that Anne has been going through since season 1. That need to adapt and like be a part of Wartwood, because at the very start, like she isn't a part of the Planter family, and that's the focus of it. But then we get into the second half of the season. It's about Anne slowly but surely getting to know about Wartwood and all of its citizens, and them and the citizens in return warming up to Anne and getting to know her better. And this episode is the resolution to the conflict, because the crucial part of this, that Anne was voted as Frog of the Year. She speed run to get that achievement in just like what 3 months. Like she did it in she did it in the last 3 months of the year that like of the whole period that they have to decide who's the Frog of the Year, and that's impressive. And it showed how quickly Anne became a beloved part of Wartwood, and how Wartwood has officially, has officially accepted Anne as one of their own, because and really, and to me that really resolves like one of Anne's biggest issues. Like I said, like her sense of belonging is finally she finally got a sense of belonging, which she's been wanting since the beginning of the season, since the beginning of the show. And her and Anne's like drive to make the best party as she can is like, oh, it's like she's also trying to give back to Wartwood because because she has been finally accepted by Wartwood, and she's going to try everything she can to maintain that acceptance. You saw that in episodes like Snow Day, where she enacted as like the protector of the town. This one too, like she just wants to give the town a good time because she got awarded as the best citizen of Wartwood, and it's like its obligation. And like, man, what I'm trying to say, like, what I'm trying to say is this episode is basically like a much needed episode to finally conclude the character and has been going on this entire season. Because yeah, like the big question, or like the big goal of this entire season, which is Anne slowly but surely getting used to Amphibia and Wartwood in general. So she could be ready to what's next, which is the next episode. That's bullshit.
All right, thank you, Lemur. And yeah, like I like how the segment. I mentioned it earlier, but just to say it again, like it wraps up. It focuses on Anne's connection with Wartwood first, just to like free up Reunion to focus more on.
Sasha and or I guess the planters, right?
Right, yeah, the planners. I wouldn't say
Sasha and Anne.
yeah, like just the pull between them, which I'll try. I should probably leave it at that before it goes more into Reunion territory. But um, I think we covered most of the segment.
Dang, I missed it.
Except the end. Like we'll get into that next. I really liked the light, like the lighting. We talked about Children of the Spore, like that pretty much like maybe took a bunch of the budget. Maybe I'm wrong. It just looks like it with the way like Children of the Spore had so many like lighting effects, but here it's mostly just like restricted to like the fire and then the fireflies later on. But I just guess right before we get into Sasha, I like that shot of Anne walking out of the main gate, and then like the fireflies are lighting up the area. I thought that was just a neat shot.
Plus the wind blowing.
Yeah, like
Yeah, the one blowing in the air, like it instantly made the whole scene feel super important. You knew something was coming.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
Like, oh god, something's big is gonna happen.
winds are
like
howling.
I just yeah, I just remember like back when it first aired. Like I looked ahead on like the airing descriptions for like Reunion. And I was like, oh, an old friend comes to meet Anne. Like and like I was so surprised when it turned out to be Sasha who came at the end. And I just thought that was pretty cool.
Wait, question. Why were you surprised though?
Oh, by it being Sasha.
Yeah, like yeah.
Originally, like I thought it would all be contained to
I don't know.
like originally I thought it would all be contained to reunion. So it was just surprising to see her
Yeah.
like show up at the very end of this segment.
Yeah.
True, I guess. But you gotta have that cliffhanger, the audience for the big season, this big season finale.
Yeah, honestly, as soon as I noticed like the episode still had like what, maybe like a minute and a half left, I knew something was up. And then the wind started blowing in the air. Like they cut the music. Then they then they like then they made it literally a scene of Anne walking like right by a gate feels super important. You knew something was up.
Yeah.
And that's when it clicked in my head. I was like, oh wow, okay, so this is how they're bringing her in. But yeah. It's great. Or are we free to talk about the scene now or something, or
Yeah, go ahead.
like just fun? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like rewatching season 1 and just getting back and getting like the chance to talk about it here and just like, analyze it. It really did make me appreciate how they really just modeled Sasha's journey around Anne's. Like there's always been this dualism between these two, and like, yeah, this is another example of it, I feel like this is like, it's no coincidence that they chose to bring Sasha and Grime in pretty much at like Anne's peak in season. Well, not quite her peak, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like this is another huge step for Anne. Like the town appreciates her. She feels great about the changes she's made of herself, and like it's pretty damn great to be Anne right now. Of course, that's when they bring in Sasha because now this is supposed to be like a test of it. This is sort of the way I've always seen Reunion. Like it was supposed to be a big test to really make sure that Anne's taking in all the lessons she acquired in season 1. And so bringing Sasha in the clash with Anne, yeah, that really shows that they definitely had an idea of what they're going for.
So I'm so tempted to make a joke about the scene, but nah, never mind.
No. I like how I think like Nick said with the duality between like Anne and Sasha. I like how like end of the year is like you have all the lighting, like the fireflies, the fires, whatever, like keeping the place lit up, and then right when it's all over, like Anne has to step out into like step into the shadow or the darkness, I guess, and like Sasha's waiting for her there.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, yeah. Speaking of lighting, those toad eyes. Yeah,
She gotta step into the darkness to face her demons. And Sasha is pretty mean, like a demon. Coincidence? I think not.
Wow, then.
I thought we're already over this, but I thought we're already over the whole Sasha is evil thing. But okay. But again, to be fair,
practically a super villain in season 1.
to be fair, like Sasha is the show. Yeah, which makes sense if we're referring to season 1 Sasha, but other than that, yeah, probably not.
And since this is the episode where she like where we saw Sasha in Prison Break compared to now, it's like she's clearly immersed herself into this world where like she doesn't have her like uniform at all. It's just like Toad battle armor.
Gone were the with her school uniform. She now has battle armor, given by Grime, and the sword too.
Wait, can we see the sword in the shot?
Yeah, she has a scabbard. Well, no, like the actual sword, we didn't see it, but like but we saw that she does have a sword and a scabbard.
Oh, right. I wasn't sure if she like brought it here like when she was meeting Anne. That's what I was checking. Oh, okay. And Marcy fans can celebrate. This is the second time her name is mentioned in the show.
Let's fucking go!
Man, like it's no. Thinking about it's so weird to think about Marcy now when we don't know anything about her back in season 1. Like, God, they made her so mysterious. Like,
I remember seeing a comic where, like, it was like they went through the entire show and were ready to go home, and then Marcy just appears
Oh,
and is like,
Reptilia.
"Where the hell have you
Yeah.
guys been?"
Yeah, it's one of the earliest comics I've seen from the show.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah, I remember it was basically like a parody of like Marcy, like with a bunch of like reptiles that resemble the planners.
it's like, oh, man, again, like it's so weird thing about it now because we barely know anything of her. Like the show kept her like the show was hush hush when it comes to she was like the name that is so mysterious. Even the show doesn't know about it. Then like skip to like a year and a half later. Like
Now we know everything about her.
now we know everything. Like, oh my god! I kind of wish we go back to the days where we were so innocent. Oh god!
And even when Marcy made her debut, and like how different she was with her like smug face and like
Yeah,
and that
like
it
everyone
felt
was
like,
so wrong about her personality.
yeah, we felt like we knew less about her then, but then like of course True Colors, and then kind of
Yeah.
puts it all into
Yeah,
All the
perspective.
characterization we needed.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I do kind of wish we got some aspects of the fandom and canons with Marcy, but you know, not never mind. What we got is infinitely better anyway.
I disagree with you, but I'm not gonna start here. But
I know, no, I know. I said, wait, what's the part you disagree with? Fandoms, headcanons, or like the fact that what we got is better?
oh, what we got was better. Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah,
meant.
what we got is better. That's what I
Oh,
said.
okay. Never mind. Yeah, then I completely
What do
agree.
you think he said?
I thought he said
That
like what we
like-
got was not.
Mike, Mark you Moo is better than Marcy.
Bro.
Marky Woo.
No, please.
But yeah, like I'm not sure what else I could. What we can talk about here with with
We can
Sasha.
we can talk about the hug though. Like, damn, like you guys saw that. Oh my gosh.
Man, like Matt kind of ruined that scene for me. Like, added in the extra context of like the fact Sasha knows, and it's like pretty like right. She's pretty driven by her emotions, so like she was like giving Anne an extra squeeze, like, more than she normally would. Like,
Oh right, because at this
That
point
hurt,
Sasha
but,
knew the
like-
plan.
yeah,
Oh, she just
yeah.
okay. I'm probably gonna go into I'm not gonna go into reunion talk,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, we're saving that next week.
Oh, but yeah, something else I wanted to mention. Like, I just this was during the Cartoon Universe interview. I think Matt mentioned like his original pitch for Amphibia basically was just season 1, right? And like,
yeah, I think that's reunion talk.
you know,
Nick.
in another world, like this would have been like the second to last episode. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like, pretty. I don't know. I just think it's pretty interesting to think about that.
No, I mean, yeah, but like, I think, yeah, like he didn't actually show like the ending of the ending of the story when he pitched this to the execs because he really doesn't know. Oh, God, now that's the thing that really worries me because even he doesn't know how the people will react to the ending of the show. Like he's worried. Like if he's worried about the execs about the ending, what about the fans?
Oh right, like because like yeah, like I guess he pitched everything up to season 1, even though
Yeah.
he had like a rough idea of how like the series would
Yeah,
end.
Yeah, he has an idea how he wants to do the ending, and that terrifies me because, like, oh goodness, this is not gonna go well.
Yeah, especially like if he had like a very like if he had like a certain idea for for the finale, but then had to wait
Mm-hmm.
like 6 years to get to that point. But then like what if
Yeah.
after all
Yeah.
that like it's like he gets rejected for that. So it's
Well,
like it's a waiting game.
Yeah, but I think I think it all worked out in the end in Matt's favor. You know, but I think he's gonna get what he. I think he's getting the ending that he wanted.
I hope so. And
Yeah.
I guess.
You did-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lemur.
No, go on.
I was just gonna move on. I was
going
gonna move on to Grime.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, just like I think Nick brought up like the toad eyes in the dark, and I like that shot of like him eating the firefly, and just it doesn't. 'Cause you've already seen Grime, I think. Yeah, you've already seen Grime, but just like it would have been interesting, like if this was like the first time we actually saw him. But I think I preferred
What we
seeing
got.
like him interact with Sasha earlier on.
Mm,
But yeah, just like the shadow in his eyes just made everything a little bit more creepy.
yeah,
it's
pretty.
pretty. Yeah, it's. I mean, I think
Yeah.
like just a shot of Grime eating like that firefly was like, a pretty nice touch. Because it feels like Grime sort of perverted the scene itself. Like the fireflies, like it just they really prettied up the scene and gave it an important feel. I think Grime's presence there is him cast in the shadows, immediately eating one. Like it really just gives him the ominous presence they're trying to go for.
Yeah, like
Yeah, back,
removing the light.
back,
It's
back
at
when
the moment.
Grime, back when Grime was actually intimidating.
Oh yeah, then he turns. I don't even know how to describe him now. Like he's just like he's just Sasha's cool uncle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Like,
like
oh.
oh sorry, go ahead, Lemur.
No, I was just thinking about another talking point we could discuss. I think you have one,
Like
so go ahead.
do you think I, I like how even though it ends on a like a very like on a cliffhanger, we still get the season 1 intro, the season 1 credits.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it. Yeah, it would have been.
But I guess the
We'll
season
get our special credits next time. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll be
like
cool. We'll get it later.
yeah, at least the season 1 credits are a little bit like they're more like ambient, so it still works after this ending, after this cliffhanger.
Season 3 intro plays after that, after the cliffhanger. Do, 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 do.
Imagine.
Yeah, is there any like other Sasha talk that we could squeeze out of this without getting too much into reunion?
Again, like the intimacy at the top is sus.
Okay.
JK.
Yeah.
JK.
Yeah, none of us are as into fall lore
I guess
as fall is.
I guess I do like how like you have that really weird, somewhat annoying and like drawn out like squeal they both have.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I can't do it. It's too high pitched.
Yeah, you don't have to do it.
I keep forgetting that Anna Cam was a YouTuber before she was a freak, before she voiced that. Oh my goodness, it was so natural. She is so good at this role.
Yeah, like
Like the
definitely
and like the like she fits the annoying blood brat very very well.
in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah, in a great way.
That's not a dig to Anna or Sasha. But yeah.
Dang, man, it really can't be undersold just how great of a voice actor she is for Sasha. I mean, like, it was just the second one, right? Like, right after Gloria,
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Gloria. And those are
Crazy,
two different characters.
Crazy.
Yeah. Like I guess that just shows how versatile she is. Or I guess how wise she is IRL. Maybe. Yeah.
So I think we can wrap up this recording. I guess starting off with I guess any final thoughts on the segment, starting with like with Ben.
No, not really. Good episode. Uh, good message, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, at the time, really good cliffhanger, and we at least got to see Sasha compared to after only one episode in season 1. Yeah,
All right, thank you, Ben.
yeah.
Lemur, anything else you wanted to add? Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like again, or end of the year might just be like, standard episode of Amphibia where like, oh, so, again, I know something stupid, short fix of everything. But like, I feel like this is the episode where you can't, the biggest point to like say that not everything about Amphibia is like unimportant or filler, because everything that this episode is relies on goes back to everything that season 1 had. There is one episode you could say that why you could answer why season 1 is important. It's this one, because aside from reunion and like Toad Tax prison break, this is the episode where it shows that all season 1 is one giant character arc for Anne, and it's about acceptance and like acceptance for both Wartwood and Anne, and how they mutually help one, and how Anne grows as a character throughout the rest of the season. Everything here was everything everything every single every one of those plot points all came ahead here, and I think this episode did a great job of doing it. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you, Lemur. Nick, final thoughts?
I mean, for Children of the Spore, Hop Hop has like no morals. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god!
End of the year, like
Yeah.
really great episode to bring us towards the season finale. Really nice to see Wartwood come to love and appreciate Anne staying there. Anne herself, yeah, it is it is always great to look back and just see how much she's improved since her first time in Amphibia. And yeah, this is one of those episodes that just make me really appreciate watching the show. So yeah, all around really pleased with these 2 episodes.
Yeah, like one more thing I could add. Yeah, Anne of the Year is the episode where you could say, "Oh yeah, Anne is one of the best protagonists in animation ever, probably." But yeah,
All right, thank you, Nick. And yeah, overall, yeah, I love Children of the Spore. Hop Up usually is the moral compass, and yet all of his segments involve him crossing
doing shady stuff.
yeah, crossing the moral, like crossing those lines. but then eventually, like
Yeah.
he gets what he wants, but then eventually realizes that it's not the way, and his conscience stops him. Yeah, it was a nice horror episode, and then yeah, end of the year. Really nice to see and get validation, or yeah, getting accepted by the rest of the townsfolk. And yeah, I like how it happened in this segment to help us. It kind of, it's like it's like an appetizer for a reunion, and that yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah, very lead into reunion, which we'll do next time.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
next week we're going to be doing we're going to be covering the final episode of season 1, which is reunion, and that's going to be
Oh,
a big one. But
Yeah,
thanks for listening, and see you guys next time. Say goodbye, everyone.
see you guys.
Bye.
goodbye.
See ya.